All right, UFC Vegas 113, Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. We are live, or not live. Welcome back inside the war room. I'm Shrikar Agendran alongside Chris Schroyer. There's actually a lot to like on this card once you really dig into it. Definitely some sneaky matchups here. Definitely some tests for some prospects, some fights that could get chaotic. I think the main event, I have some thoughts on it. Not really the biggest fan of the fight, especially over 5 rounds, but we're going to get into it when we get there. We got the full card predictions for you guys, full betting breakdown. We're talking about this entire card from top to bottom. So real quick, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on those post notifications, share the video, helps us out a ton. Chris, what you think of the card, man? You excited? First Apex event of the year, or should we say the meta Apex?
Yeah, I think we have to start calling it that.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible card. I think there are definitely some bright spots. I'm kind of looking forward to the main event. I mean, it's not like an over-the-top banger, but it should be interesting, especially in the bantamweight division, the lower half of the rankings. See how Mario Bautista can bounce back against a pretty good performance against Umar Nurmagomedov, and then we'll really get to see what Vinicius Oliveira is all about. He's undefeated in the UFC, so see how he can battle through a little bit of adversity against a good opponent. But yeah, I think I'm most interested in how the Apex is going to look with all these fans, how it's going to sound, because we're so used to hearing everything in the Apex, coaches screaming, the thud of the blows that the fighters are giving. And I mean, that's my favorite part of the Apex, is just hearing everything and really kind of being engulfed in, just the sounds of fighting. I'm sure it's not going to be as prominent now with all these fans, but it might be interesting. It might give a little more life to the Apex, because I know a lot of people say the Apex is boring. Maybe they don't like the quietness of the arena, but now that there's fans and, we'll get some crowd pops, it might, push a little life into it. So yeah, it'll just be interesting to see that, but I don't think it's an objectively bad card. I think that there will be some good fights. How do you feel about Tree Card? Do you think we'll get some loud moments in the meta Apex?
Yeah, I think we could. Obviously, the main event, Bautista Oliveira. The co-main event, Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi.
Good fight.
We've said it before, but we think this is going to be, I wouldn't say a breakout moment for Kyoji Horiguchi with how long he's been in fighting in mixed martial arts. But this is going to be a statement performance for him that I would think. Just a little spoiler there, but we'll give you the full breakdown later. But let's get into our first fight of the night. We got a ladies fight. If you remember on UFC 325, we didn't have a single women's fight on that card. So we are going to be breaking down a women's fight for the first time in a couple weeks. We have Priscilla Cachoeira versus Klaudia Sygula. And I'm going to say it straight up. I'm on Priscilla Cachoeira here. Sygula, she's okay. But that's kind of the problem that I have. She doesn't really do anything well. She spams overhands. She's not particularly athletic. Her striking is just awkward. No clean jab. No sharp straight punches. Not much head movement. It's just kind of like a lot of flailing. Yeah, she's 10 years younger. Am I right about that? Yeah, 37 compared to 27. So 10 years younger. She is fighting at American Top Team. Cool. But what has she actually shown in the UFC? I don't think she's really shown me much. Cachoeira, on the other hand, look, the record isn't great, but I think context does matter here. The women she's losing to are legit. If we look at it, Jocelyn Edwards is really, really good. Jasmine Jastovicius is really good. Miranda Maverick is really good. That is real competition. And yeah, she got slept by Jocelyn Edwards last time. Nasty straight right. But that was the first real KO loss of her career. She's not like a chinny fighter, And the biggest thing, she has power. Real power. Fight-changing, one-shot power. Sygula's best chance is going to be in the wrestling, but she's not some elite grappler, as I mentioned, who's going to just take Cachoeira down and dominate the fight. If this stays on the feet for any amount of time, Cachoeira is going to be live, and she's going to be live to finish it, always. She's training with Amanda Nunes, Nina Nunes. Real good fighters in the room. And stylistically, Sygula's chin is high. And she's a slapping puncher. Again, no power threat. This is women's MMA at the Apex. First fight of the night. It's always a coin flip. But if I'm flipping a coin, I'm flipping it on the woman who throws bombs with bad intentions. I'm going to say Priscilla Cachoeira gets it done, and I think she knocks out Klaudia Sygula. I don't know how she's an underdog here, but I'm going to take the dog value on the first fight of the night.
Interesting. I'm going Sygula by knockout.
What?
Yep.
Come on, man.
Parity already. Yeah. I do like what you said, though. I think the strength of competition is definitely on the side of Cachoeira, and she does push forward relentlessly and throw with bad intentions, which could bode poorly for Sygula. But in my opinion, I don't know. I think Cachoeira's striking defense is absolutely terrible. I understand pushing forward, but you can't really defend everything with your face. And even if Sygula doesn't have the power to necessarily knock her out with one punch, I think it's going to add up over time. I think that this will be a little bit of a breakout moment for Sygula in the first fight of the night in the Meta Apex. I mean, she's younger, and I don't have my statistics pulled up, but usually when there's a 10-inch advantage, 10-inch, Jesus, when there's a 10-year advantage in age, the younger fighter prevails most of the time. Wow, a lot of tapology is on Sygula. Yeah, I didn't really expect that. I kind of expected a good amount of people.
But they're all in her by division. You're picking the knockout.
Ooh, yeah, I'm going knockout. I'm going bold. We're both going bold. I wonder what the odds are for the over in the rounds. Let's pull that up right now.
Yeah, I'll pull it up on my end too. I have it pulled up with me, but
yeah, I know. I guess I was ill prepared for this. I didn't think 2.5 is only minus 120. So there's not a whole lot of confidence that this is going to go the distance. Yeah, I just think that even though they're the same height, Sygula does have a 4-inch reach advantage, which I think could prove well for her, because especially if Cachoeira is going to put herself out there and throw bombs, she's going to be very susceptible to counters. So it might not take a strong strike to put her down. It might just take a very well-timed strike to put her down. I mean, there is a limited sample size for Sygula, so we don't really know exactly what we're going to get, and we've seen what we can get from Priscilla Cachoeira. So I understand the experience side, but I just feel like she's very hittable, and I don't know how well that's going to bode, especially against a longer striker. And Sygula does use her kicks very well. Not a great grappler. She does do some clinch. She has some clinch work in her bag, but it's not over the top to sway the fight. I think this is just going to be a pure striking match. I don't really see many takedowns, if any at all. But yeah, I'm going to ride with Sygula, the younger fighter, to get this done and get a statement win on her resume, because she really doesn't have many, if at all, statement wins. I mean, her last one was against Irina Alekseeva, who not a great fighter in her own right. So I think this will be a good test for her. And if she wins, especially convincingly, I think she could have a somewhat bright future in the UFC. So yeah, we're both picking girls by knockout, which is not very common.
Yeah, it's not very common, but give me Zombie Girl in this one. I think she's going to do it. I think she'll just keep coming forward, and she'll end up finishing Klaudia Sygula. All right. Muin Gafurov versus Jakub Wikłacz. Now, interestingly, Jakub is the underdog in this fight. Chris, Are you going right back, or not right back? I would be going right back. Are you going to the underdog well for this one?
I don't think I am. I think I'm going to stick with Muin Gafurov. I mean, Wikłacz, very a solid performance against Patchy Mix, but that was in his UFC debut, correct? I believe it was.
That was his UFC debut.
Yeah. He did get the split decision nod. Very close fight. It got kind of sloppy, and obviously ended Patchy Mix's UFC career, so he can hang that on his hat. He's a solid fighter. I think that he does have strengths, but he also has some weaknesses. I mean, he has steady volume on the feet, good wrestling base. He's good in scrambles, but I think that he lacks a little bit of power on the feet, and striking, it's a little bit predictable. You can kind of see what's coming. And we don't really know what we're going to get. I mean, Patchy Mix, we thought he was good. Clearly, I don't know what happened when Patchy Mix came over to the UFC. It's kind of like he forgot how to fight. But I think Muin Gafurov, very strong boxer and wrestler archetype, good chain wrestling. So I think that he will be able to get Wikłacz down and, rack up some control time. And in the scrambles that Wikłacz is good at, I think Gafurov also excels in that. He's dangerous off the breaks. He throws punches and elbows and kicks. So I think that if he just sticks to his game, makes this a wrestling heavy match, I think that he'll have some success. I'm going to take him by decision. I think that he will be able to grind out a hard 15 minutes. But the odds are close. So I mean, clearly there is some confidence in Wikłacz, but right now I'm going to go with the more proven guy who's been showing a good amount, and we'll take the Tajik wrestler in Muin Gafurov.
Give me Jakub Wikłacz.
Ooh, parody back to back.
Look, man, everyone loves to dunk on Patchy Mix right now, but let's not pretend that win means nothing. All right. Wikłacz beat a legit grappler and showed a lot of composure doing it. And the biggest thing here for me is very, very simple. Submission grappling favors Wikłacz. I think that is the most dangerous skill set in this fight. Gafurov is probably the better striker, as you were mentioning. Definitely faster, cleaner, more controlled. But Wikłacz is live for a sub anytime this hits the mat. He's got really, really long arms. I believe the reach advantage here, we see, he has 73-inch arms. So there you go. And also, he's not afraid to jump on something if you make a mistake. So the question is this: if Wikłacz gets, let's set it at 3 takedowns. If he gets 3 takedowns, I really do believe he can win minutes or find a submission within that span. So, I mean, Gafurov has been in bad spots on the mat before. It's not like he's some immovable monster. And if he starts shooting himself, that's dangerous. Wikłacz can absolutely catch a neck from that spot. So it definitely feels like a 50-50 fight. And I'll take the guy with the higher submission upside, and he's at underdog money. So give me Jakub Wikłacz. I think he'll do it by submission. If you want the prop itself, Wikłacz by submission is plus 330. So I think that's a really, really good number right there. But obviously, if you wanted to just bet money line, you can. Tapology community is going Wikłacz by decision, and his decision prop is also plus 300. So they're thinking it's going to be points or submission. No knockout here. If they're going to take Gafurov, it'd be all across the 15 minutes. But yeah, give me Jakub Wikłacz here, man. I just think that skill set is what's going to turn the fight. When it comes down to these two. At some point, I'm setting that line at 3 takedowns. If he can't get that finish by the third one and Gafurov gets back up, then Gafurov will probably get it done. But I just trust Jakub that much more on the ground. So give me Jakub Wikłacz right there. Wang Cong versus Eduarda Moura. All right, let's talk about this one. I think these are two complete polar opposite fighters, which makes this one more interesting for me, although I do wish they could each be fighting more established contenders. If we look at their last 5 fights, Cong is coming off 2 wins, one against Ariane Lipski, and then also beat Bruna Brazil, both by decision. Obviously got submitted in China by Gabriela Fernandez. That was a year ago on the Macau card. And then Eduarda Moura just beat Lucky Lauren Murphy by decision in Nashville. Got a decision win over Veronica Hardy, which is a good win. I think Moura is going to need to work very quickly here because I think she has clear cardio issues that will come back to bite her if she can't finish this on the ground quick enough. I'm going to go Wang Cong. She's just better. I think she's faster, sharper, cleaner. Her kickboxing is slick when you look at the body work, the movement. She looks like a real striker. And Moura is fine. I just don't think she's going to get Wang Cong down consistently. Wang's hips are good. Her takedown defense is solid on the feet. I don't think it's close. I don't think she knocks Moura out. Wang fights smart. She's very decision heavy, as we saw in the past fights. But I think she clearly outstrikes her and wins minutes. So I'll say Wang Cong gets it done by decision. If you want Wang money line, it's minus 380. So I think it's a good parlay piece, if anything. And then I think the over 2.5 is minus 195, which is another good parlay piece. I think this will go the distance. But I'm high on Wang Cong. I think this will be a good performance from her. I think she'll get it done in the Apex. Give me Wang.
Yeah, I'm taking Wang Cong by decision as well. I think you detailed it fairly nicely, Shrikar. I think that Moura does present a pretty big threat, but she's gonna have to get this done fast, because I think over 3 rounds, I think Wang's gonna be able to get in that flow state and really just start picking her apart. I mean, Moura, not terrible. She does like to pressure a lot. She can excel on the ground, slightly on the feet, but when you just look at Wang Cong, I mean, she's just so technical, very composed, and she doesn't really get disrupted by pressure from what I've seen. She did get submitted by Gabriela Fernandez. I think that was a little bit, I wouldn't say a fluke, but that wasn't really what we've seen from Wang Cong in her other 8 fights. I think
it's that the loss she needed to take.
Yeah, exactly. Some people, some fighters, I know, they go undefeated and it's, they just run through opponents. Personally, I think when a fighter takes a loss, especially early when they're undefeated, it's a good learning moment. That's what I like to think. So I think that she definitely learned from that. I think that she'll be able to cut off the cage and really just lay it on her. And they're practically the same size, but I feel like Wang Cong is just, she just has more of a mass to her. And I think she's going to be able to hit harder. She controls the range very well, very precise, like I said. I feel like this is just going to be a technical fight. And I don't like to, I'm not going to pick Moura in a technical fight, because that's not really where she thrives. I think Wang Kong's just really going to lock in and, do what she has to do. I don't really see this going to the ground. If it goes to the ground, it's going to be Moura on top. I think Wang Cong will be able to, kind of just walk her down, settle in, and really pick her shots, and maybe make Moura shoot some emergency takedowns when she starts feeling the power of Wang Cong. So, yeah, I like her by decision. What are the odds on that? Let's see.
Cong by decision is, let's see,
minus 115. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I really like that. That's worth a straight bet.
Let's see what the community's thinking. Wang by decision. Some people thinking her by knockout. Could happen.
Could happen.
But I think it's safer to say that this is going to go the distance. It'll go all 15. All right. Our next prelim fight, Said Nurmagomedov versus Javid, the Snow Leopard Basharat. Both guys coming off losses. Said Nurmagomedov lost to Bryce Mitchell. I remember Sam had the lone wolf on that one. I think that was the Abu Dhabi card, right? Yeah, it was the Abu Dhabi card. And then Javid Basharat lost to Ricky Simone in Seattle. This is his first fight since getting slumped on that fateful day. Both guys, I would say their backs are against the wall. Chris, who do you think comes out on top?
I'm going to take Javid Basharat in this. On a 2-fight losing streak, or 3-fight winless streak, count the no contest. But he did get kicked below the belt in that, so we don't really know what was going to happen. But yeah, I mean, Said Nurmagomedov, he's probably the only Dagestani fighter that doesn't wrestle, or he's not very good at wrestling, but he is a silly gilly goose. He does love his guillotines. Strong front headlock. This is going to be a kickboxing match, in my opinion. I mean, Said is a good kickboxer. Don't get me wrong. And he has solid takedown defense. Javid is a capable grappler, capable wrestler. But in the first round of that Bryce Mitchell fight, I mean, Said looked great. He was defending takedowns, lighting up Mitchell on the feet. But his gas tank is always permanently 10 miles from empty. I mean, he does not have cardio, and we've seen it time and time again. He gasses so quickly. In this fight, might be different because it might just be a straight kickboxing match because Javid is a very fluid kickboxer. He's a high volume striker. He likes to keep things on the feet, but he can take it to the floor if he wants. Kind of like his brother. I mean, I think that he's just a worse version of Farid, but I mean, he was 14-0. Now he's 14-2. I think he's learned a lot from both of those. The one thing that I am susceptible, or Javid is going to be susceptible to, is he is predictable. He telegraphs things sometimes. And against a high-skilled kickboxer like Saeed, that could be perilous for him because Saeed does have power and he fights at range. I think he's the longer fighter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he is. By 1 inch,
like
he is.
Slightly. But he fights bigger than he is. I'll give him that. But I like Javid to bounce back here. Both these, like you said, both these guys are on a 2-fight losing streak, so both their backs are kind of against the wall in this one. I'm gonna say that Javid gets this one done. I think it's gonna be by decision. If it's not, he's probably gonna knock him out because Saeed is gonna gas. But Saeed Nurmagomedov has a gas tank in this fight. I think he can win, but until I see otherwise, I'm not going to bank on that. So give me Javid by decision.
I am also not going to give up on Javid Basharat yet. I will take him to win this fight. His striking is cleaner, and I think he's still got upside. Saeed is definitely dangerous, as you mentioned. I mean, the ninja choke he has is definitely his best weapon, but I'm not confident he consistently gets Basharat down. And here's the key for me. Round 3. Saeed slows down. Basharat does not. If this is 1-1 going into the third, I trust Basharat's gas tank more. I trust his volume more. I think his body work matters. So yeah, I'm also going to say Javid Basharat gets it done. I think he'll get it done by decision. The over 2.5 is -315. If you want a good parlay piece, I think that's one for you right there. Wow, community is going Saeed by decision in this one.
Have they watched his past couple of fights?
And I get it. If you want to really put stock into Basharat losing 2 in a row and one being a brutal KO, I get it. His hobby is really good. Like, I think that's like, it's not like a horrible loss. And then Ricky Simone obviously just caught him. But I think people are sleeping on how much potential Basharat still has. Like, he's still good. I think he's going to get it done. And I think he's going to get it done by decision. But both of us going Javid Basharat there. Another women's fight here. We have Bruna Brasil versus Ketlen Souza. This one is tricky, but I think I'm gonna go Ketlen Souza. Bruna Brasil wants a clean, technical point fight from range. Souza wants a brawl, and if this turns into a pocket fight, I think Souza hits way harder. Souza's recent losses came against tougher competition. If you look at it, she lost to Piera Rodriguez in a split, Angela Hill in a split. She lost to Karine Silva by submission. Karine Silva's really good. I don't know. Brazil hasn't shown enough to convince me she can keep Souza off her for 3 rounds. So I'm going to say Ketlen Souza gets it done by decision or maybe a TKO late in the fight. I don't think I'm going to be betting this fight, to be honest with you. I think this is a pretty volatile one. If you want Ketlen Souza money line, it's -150. I think that would be the only one that I would really advise. But otherwise, I think all bets are kind of off for this one. So give me Ketlen Souza as the favorite, slight favorite. I think she'll get it done over Bruna and get back in the win column.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm going Souza by decision as well. And I like what you said. Yeah, Brazil wants a clean fight. She likes to manage distance and kind of control the tempo and pace. But Souza's physical, man. She just goes forward, pressure always. She loves to initiate. And I don't think that's going to really bode well for Bruna Brasil, who wants to kind of fight a rangy fight on the outside. I think Souza's a lot more comfortable with just making it a brawl. Clinch work as well. She's dangerous in the clinch. I think Brazil could have moments here if she's able to keep Souza on the outside and really just work her game. But Souza's very good at mixing things up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a takedown here, nasty ground and pound, and really just take control of Brazil in the opportunities of like when they're close in the pocket, against the fence. I think that she's a better fighter in that, and that's the fight that she likes to fight. We could see a submission attempt from Brazil if it does get to the floor, but Souza's just restless, man. She does not sit still, and she loves to make things dirty. And against a fighter like Brazil who likes to make things clean, I think the one who usually likes to make it a brawl will come out on top. So, give me Souza by decision. I think that's a pretty good pick in this one. And we'll see what that is. The odds for that. Ketlen Souza.
Wow, community's going Bruna by decision.
Interesting. So Souza by decision is plus 110. Brazil by decision is plus 180. Over unders 2.5 at minus 375.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of chalky.
I think Souza could finish the fight. Nearly minus 400. I probably wouldn't bet that.
Yeah, but I do like the decision in this fight. I don't really see a finish, and if it was going to be finished, I would take Ketlen Souza, and I'm pretty sure. Let me see. On DraftKings, you can take finish only money line, which is interesting because if it goes to decision, it's void.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Souza is minus 175 in that department, which isn't bad. If you're scared about the decision going either way, kind of cover your bases. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad bet. I think if it's getting finished, I think Souza's the one doing it.
All right, this is a late addition to this card. We got Nikolay Veretennikov fighting Niko, the hybrid Price. Niko Price is washed. Just got submitted by Jacoby Smith at UFC 317. Before that, he took a decision, lost to Garimbo. Beat Alex Morono at UFC, I believe it was it was 2023, right? I don't know when it was, but
yeah, it was a while ago.
Knocked out by Robbie Lawler in Lawler's retirement fight. Knocked out by Phil Rowe. We look at Veretennikov. Lost to Puna Soriano at UFC 320. Beat Francisco Prado at 318. You could argue Prado won that fight, but I mean, either way it goes. Knocked out or finished by Austin Vanderford. Split decision loss to left-handed God. Chris, I'll start with you. Who do you think gets it done here? Obviously, it was supposed to be Veretennikov versus Henrique. Then Henrique dropped out, and now Niko Price steps in short notice.
Yeah, this is kind of a little bit of a bottom of the barrel fight, if I'm being completely honest.
Very, very bottom of the barrel fight.
Yeah. I was trying to be nice about it, but yeah, it's not great for either opponent. I was actually going to take Veretennikov against Henrique. Just kind of, I don't know if that's a hot take or not. But both guys not faring well in their last 5. But you look at Niko Price, not very active. His last fights are over the span of 3 years. Veretennikov at least has been more active, 5 fights over the past year and a half, 2 years. I'm going to go Veretennikov, and it's kind of just based on the fact that I don't really trust Niko Price anymore. I think that Niko Price could pull out some vet tricks and turn it up one last time, or for his last couple fights. But like you said, Shrikar, I think Niko Price is the big W word in washed. I like Veretenikov's grappling. He's very aggressive. He does have solid grappling, even though he was absolutely dominated on the ground by Puna in his last fight. He has okay striking, but he's just not afraid to go forward. When he's on the feet, he just walks forward kind of like a cyborg. He's not scared of what's coming back at him. So in this fight, I like Veretenikov's chances to get back in the win column and kind of put old Yeller out. But yeah. I like Veretennikov by finish, though. I don't think this goes the whole 3 rounds. So I'm not sure knockout or submission, but I'll check on the finish prop right now. But Trikar, what you got?
So community is going Veretennikov by either knockout or decision. Yeah, I'll say Veretennikov by KO. I think he'll finish Niko Price. As I said, I just think Niko is past it, man. Credit to him. And actually, it's funny because it's a battle between Niko and Niko. They both have NIKO as the first 4 letters of their name.
That is true. Didn't realize that.
But I don't know. They're both 36 years old. It's kind of an unk fight. Obviously, Niko Price has a little more tread on the tires, I guess you would say, because Veretennikov he's only been in the UFC for so long. But yeah, I really don't got much to say about this one. I think you just got to take Veretennikov. I don't see any of the odds.
Yeah, it's not listed on any book.
Yeah, so until we get the odds,
actually,
maybe it could switch, but I don't see myself switching this one. Give me Nikolay Veretennikov. I think he'll get it done by KO. Moving on to another one that should be just an absolute slaughter, Alex Morono versus Daniil Donchenko. Donchenko just came off the Ultimate Fighter, where he knocked out Rodrigo Cezinando at UFC 319. I love this spot for him. I really do. I love this spot for Daniil Donchenko. Morono is tough, but I mean, let's be honest. He is literally beating 40-year-olds. Court McGee is his only win in his last 5. So I guess that it goes to show. Donchenko he's 24. All right. He's 24. He is violent. He is getting better at a rapid pace. It just feels like a changing of the guard fight here. So I think Donchenko just walks him down, lands the heavy shots. I think it'll be a round 1 KO for Daniil Donchenko. And Donchenko by KO is minus 200. So odds makers seem to think the same thing.
Pretty good. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about this fight. I think Daniil Donchenko by absolute demolition. This guy is a berserker. He does not care. He just walks people down and straight up finishes guys. Morono, good karate background. He likes to kind of fight defensive, but when he faces a guy like Donchenko, who's not scared to walk him down and throw heavy shots, he does not fare well. And the fight that comes to mind for me in this is his fight against Santiago Ponzinibbio. And Santiago, he's a lot older, hasn't been faring well recently in the UFC. But that was a while ago. That was 2022. But he went to decision with Buckley, which is actually pretty impressive. He did lose to Niko Price, who he kind of just absolutely counted out of everything. But I think the best comparison is his last fight against Carlos Leal. Leal, kind of the same build, same makeup of Daniil Donchenko, just a berserker who likes to get in close and absolutely throw bombs. So when I see that, I think that it's going to be the exact same thing. I'm going Daniil Donchenko round 1 knockout. I don't see Alex Morono lasting very long. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, and that's the last prelim fight. We're going to go ahead and move on to the main card here. If you guys are still with us, make sure you like up the video, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, share the video, helps us out a lot. But let's start with the main card here. Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. I've got some feelings here about this fight, and I'm going to let you go first, Chris, because I want to see if your feelings are matching mine.
I think it'll be interesting, to say the least. You have Walker, he's a pretty big guy. He's athletic. He is explosive. And he's pretty solid in every facet of the game. You know, striking, takedowns, clinch. I would say okay cardio. I'm not going to say great. We have seen him gas out a little bit. Who did he lose to? I forgot. It was another big...
He lost to Menafield.
Yeah, Menafield, who, you know, they both gassed out, so it was just a matter of who gassed out less. But Menafield's he's a pretty tough guy to beat. For at least for prospects. And I would say Julius Walker, you see the record, 7-1. He's still pretty raw. So I think he's trying to get his feet under him in the UFC. But I think he's a little bit too reliant on his athleticism. And, instead of his technique, he gets kind of sloppy, in my opinion. Jacoby's been around the block. This dude is a very good kickboxer. He has great power too. I just think that that's really going to be the difference in this. I'm actually going to say Jacoby by knockout. I think him being able to control the range, he has a good jab, good kicks. I think that he's going to be able to slow Walker down, and he's going to be able to land clean strikes. And Walker is pretty susceptible to getting hit. He doesn't have a great defense, but it's there. I think Jacoby, the one thing he needs to look out for is his gas tank, because if he tries to go a little too hard, I think Walker would be able to, rally in the later rounds, later half of the fight. But I'm going to trust the more proven guy here, who has shown that, he can knock people out, anyone that you put in front of him. So I'm going to go with Jacoby by knockout. I'm going to say it's in the early half of the fight too. I'm going to go Jacoby by knockout under 1.5.
So it's not, I have some feelings about this fight, and it's not because Jacoby can't win. Like, he absolutely can. But I just think Walker's style is so just awful for him. Walker is young. He's physical, wrestling focused, loves the clinch. Jacoby has mostly fought strikers. Like, when you go back and look at it, Bruno Lopez, Vitor Petrino, Dom Reyes, Alonzo Menafield, Kennedy Nizuchukwu, a lot of strikers there. And I think when the grapplers get to him, he struggles. If Walker can get to the body lock and just grind it out from there, I think this could be an ugly fight. And I don't think Dustin Jacoby is going to be as good in an ugly fight. So I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to say Julius Walker gets it done. I think he's going to get it done by decision. I think it'll be a very control-heavy win. As far as the betting goes, if you want to play just straight bet Walker money line, I'd say at plus 150. I think that's your best option. Community is going Jacoby by knockout, siding with Chris here. I'll be one of the 14% that says Walker gets it done. Not a finish. Again, I think it'll go the distance, but I don't know. I just have such a feeling with that one.
Yeah, it's valid. It might be a slop fest too. You never know.
I think Walker will genuinely just make it a boring fight and win. That's how it's going to be. But give me Juice Box. John Matsumoto versus yeah, it is. John Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. I think this is such a beautiful matchup in terms of the violence we're about to get. But I think this is also a heartbreaking matchup in and of itself because someone's got to lose. I love John Matsumoto. I also love Farid Basharat. I'm very high on both of them. I don't know why Basharat isn't already fighting a ranked opponent, but clearly whoever wins this is going to get that opportunity next. So I guess it doesn't matter at the end. I just don't know, man. Basharat seems like he's got the more expansive toolkit, but I think the core of Matsumoto's game is just so reliable, and you tend not to go against it. I really have no idea who's going to win this fight. But I picked Javid. I'm going to pick both Basharats on this card. Farid is cleaner. He's better at managing range. But again, Matsumoto is tough. He is dangerous. But I think the one thing that's going to draw back here is he is heavier footed. He's a little bit easier to read. So definitely feels like Matador versus Bull. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trust the Matador in this case. So give me Farid Basharat. I think he'll get it done over 3 rounds. I think he'll get it done by decision. Basharat at minus 285. I think the odds should definitely be closer than that, but I do think he's going to win. So if you really want to include it as a parlay piece, go ahead. It's not like I'm going to advise against it. The over 2.5, I think, is a lot better as a parlay piece. That's minus 410. I think that's a lot safer. I think this will go the distance. It will go the full 15. Community is going Basharat by decision. Yeah, I'll side with the majority here. I'll go Farid.
I'm going to take the bull in this fight. I'm going to go with John Matsumoto. And I do like everything you said. I think that you actually said it perfectly. Farid does have the more expansive toolkit in terms of he can just flow everywhere. He can take it to the ground, very fluid kickboxer. And you see the same tool sets with both the Basharat brothers. That's what I was kind of getting to with Javid is I think Farid just executes it a lot better than Javid does. He's less predictable, very reliable on the feet. He kind of just makes it his fight, and I would say point fights at a very high level, in my opinion. But from what I've seen with Matsumoto, you could say that maybe he lost against Miles Johns in his last fight. It was split decision. Or he won against Rob Font in his only loss in the UFC. That was also split decision. But when Matsumoto gets taken down, he works the absolute hardest to get back to his feet. And when he gets back to his feet, it's almost like he has a vengeance that he wants to make you pay for taking him down. He just turns it up. I don't really know if we've seen Farid face adversity in terms of that. Now, he could 100% take him down and just keep him there because he is an excellent grappler, in my opinion. He does have submissions on his record, 14-0. He hasn't tasted hasn't tasted defeat yet. So I think he has all the confidence in the world. Matsumoto, on the other hand, I just feel like he might play this one smart. I feel like this is going to be a fight at range. And if someone's going to take someone down, it's going to be Farid. But Matsumoto is dangerous. You can't play with him on the feet because he just brings fire. And now Farid does the same thing, but it just feels like with Matsumoto, it's just so much more aggressive. Like he throws everything into every strike that he has. And he doesn't tire. I mean, he really doesn't. Even when he looks like he's tired, he has the gas tank to go the full 15 minutes at 110%. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this pick for me, this is so hard. I think the line should be a lot closer. And just to put it out there, I feel like part of me is picking Matsumoto just based on pure value, because seeing him at plus what? It says plus 180 on Tapology, but he's around minus 230. I mean, yeah, he's like plus 230 on a lot of books, maybe even higher. I don't know. I'd like to take a chance on him and say that he'd be able to hand Farid his first loss. It's going to be close, though. I wouldn't be shocked if I switch my pick. So perfect time to plug. Check the Instagram on Saturday for our finalized picks after the weigh-in. We always just like to make sure that everything's good and finalize our picks. So for the most part, things don't change drastically, but a pick or two might change. So if you don't want to be left in the dark, make sure you check the social medias down below. But yeah, it'll be a good fight. It'll be a very good fight. I honestly think it could be fight of the night, if I'm being completely honest. So
could be.
I would tune in for that, but I'm going to go Matsumoto by decision.
All right. Michal Olejniczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Violent fight, man. This is pure violence. Chris, who are you taking here?
Yeah, this is going to be a banger. So someone is going to be in a lot of pain after this fight, or even both of them. I'm going to take Michal. I'm going to take him by knockout. I think that Barriault does have a good amount of tread on the tires. He has taken a lot of damage in his MMA career. And, I hate when you usually pride someone on being tough as one of their best attributes, it doesn't really say a lot of things. He does have solid striking. He is a powerful striker. I mean, if you want to watch a very solid fight of his, even though he lost, I would watch the Shara Bullet fight. They fought in, was it Abu Dhabi?
Yes.
It was Abu Dhabi. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He gave Shara a lot of problems early on until Shara was able to.
700 dog, by the way.
Yeah.
And I told y'all that number was a little bit too wide.
Yeah. No, he can pull things out of the fire. But when you look at Michal, he is he looks like he's just shot out of a cannon constantly. Like every fight that he's in, it just feels like someone's getting finished. And he's tough as nails. These guys are both tough as nails. But I feel like Michal has more paths to victory. I think that Michal is a great striker. He has it on the ground too. He has the ability to pull off submissions. I just feel like he's going to kind of walk Barrio down, but he has to be careful because Barrio can land some big shots, and that might put Michal in some trouble because we have seen him be hit before, susceptible to, power punchers, I would say. But I don't think that Barrio is fast enough to really, prod in and out and make this a somewhat technical fight. I like I said, I just think Michal is a little bit. He has more paths to victory in this, so I'm gonna take him. I could actually see this going the distance, even though I said that both of these guys are gonna be hurting. I think they're both tough as can be. Two of the toughest UFC fighters out there. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Michal, and I think Barrio. I think the wheels are falling off a little bit, but he's still alive. He's a live dog. Plus 215. You want value? Not telling you to take it, but the value is there.
Yeah, I just trust Olejniczuk's precision more in this fight. Barrios' chin is shaky, and Olejniczuk is faster. He's cleaner. But yeah, someone is getting rocked here. I just think it's going to be Barrio first. So give me Olejniczuk by KO, which is minus 200. I think that's a good parlay piece as well. I think he will finish Barrio. Yeah. I mean, just look at what the community thinks.
Yeah,
everyone is on Michal by knockout. So I don't disagree. I think that's going to be the play here. So real quick there, just give me Michal by knockout. All right, the moment everyone's been waiting for: Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev.
Oh no!
If y'all don't know, we have just an inside joke going about Rizvan Kuniev. Our group chat, our War Room group chat, is literally titled Kuniev Hive.
Shout out Rizvan.
Find him knowing. So, all right, man. Here's what I'll say about this fight. I'm still a big Jailton Almeida fan. All right. But this is just hilarious matchmaking from the UFC.
Yeah, no, it's terrible, bro.
Stick him in the apex. Give him an unranked guy coming off a loss to Curtis Blades. I mean, that's
split decision.
This is just a punishment and a half. With that being said, though, I've said this before. Jailton Almeida does really, really well against Dagestani wrestlers. Historically, he's always done good against them. His BJJ is literally the perfect archetype to counter any Dagestani wrestler. I think Kuniev is no exception here, right? I think Almeida will get this done in the first round. Straight up. I think he will finish Kuniev in the first round. I think this will be very easy for him. It will be quick. This will be an opponent that he's faced in the past. And if you go back and watch his Contender Series fight, this is exactly how this fight is going to look, all right? If you go look at his fight against Sergey Spivak, same sort of situation here. All right. I don't see anything different in Rizvan Kuniev that would make me pick otherwise, in this fight. Even when he fought Abdurakhimov. All right. I think that's another fight that you can go back and look at and kind of use that as tape for this Kuniev fight. I think Almeida will get it done very easily. Let's look at what Tapology thinks. Almeida by decision. So I get it.
Well, after his last fight, yeah.
And odds-wise, Almeida's minus 150, which I don't even know why he's that close of a favorite, but it should be way wider. When me and Chris were talking about this fight, I thought Jailton Almeida would be like a minus 300 plus. At least.
Then I broke the news, and Shrikar was astounded.
If you can get him at minus 150, go right on ahead. Jailton Almeida is going to make it look easy. He is going to get this one done in round one, whether it's by TKO or sub. He will finish Rizvan Kuniev, and he will make it look easy.
I told Terrence I would do it, so I can't back off my word. I'm taking Rizvan Kuniev.
Plant your flag, sir.
Yes. I mean, I think the line is part recency bias because of what happened against Volkov. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think lines are really set off recency bias when one guy is a top 5 heavyweight in the world. And I know the heavyweight division is in shambles constantly, but I don't know. I just don't know if I trust Almeida to hold down Rizvan Kuniev and actually do anything. Like, it feels like he has negative ground and pound skills.
He does. It was just that one fight, man. He does. He finished Spivak on the ground. He finished Romanov on the ground. He finished he didn't finish Derek Lewis. But besides the
crazy
he finished Abdurakimov. Like, I don't know what more Almeida has to do. It was just one bad fight that's flipped everyone's minds. Everyone, you got to go buy low on Jailton Almeida.
I definitely agree with you that buying low in this fight is almost a gift, but I don't know. The fact that the line is so close actually scares me for Jailton. Because Kuniev, Almeida, even though he's a BJJ guy, excellent takedowns. This guy, once he gets his hands locked, it's pretty much over. You're going to the floor. You're going for a ride. But Kuniev actually is solid takedown defense. I would say that, I am saying that Jailton is definitely the better grappler out of the two of them. His BJJ is unmatched. I think the only one that can compare to him in the heavyweight division is Walter Walker in terms of straight up BJJ, submissions like that. But Jailton, he does get categorized as a BJJ guy, but he does have good wrestling. I mean, he works his way against the fence. And like I said, once he gets his hands locked, it's pretty much over. You're going to the ground. I was impressed with Kuniev in that Curtis Blades fight, though.
I was not.
I mean, he damn near won that fight. And who did Jailton Almeida lose to? That's second L on Tapology. Curtis Blades.
Hey, if your best reason is MMA math, go ahead. I'm cooling off that. So
no, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Jailton has not been impressive to me in the slightest. I really haven't seen many impressive things for him. And the fact that they're giving him Rizvan Kuniev, who isn't even is he in the top 15? If he is, he's at the bottom.
He's unranked. He's unranked.
He's not even in the top 15. And he's a very slight favorite. Something just feels off about this fight. It just feels off. I don't know. I mean, I think you could be buying low with Almeida, but at the same time, I think the line is set like that for a reason. I think there's actually a good chance that Kuniev could win this fight. I'm going to take him. But am I confident? No. I'm not going to sit here and lie like I'm confident. I just feel like it's just a perfect storm for Jailton to lose and then get clowned even more than he's already been clowned.
Nah. I don't know, man. I've been very impressed by Jailton Almeida personally. He's definitely one of my favorite heavyweights. I gotta back my boy at the end of the day, but I don't see anything in Rizvan Kuniev, especially when I consider Almeida's history with opponents like this. And yeah, it's just nothing that's gonna phase me.
But what if Rizvan comes in roided up?
Abdurakimov was probably roided up. For all we know.
Yeah, he probably was.
So I
would say don't tune into that fight if you don't want to watch another slop fest.
We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would love to see who Sam takes.
He's gonna take Rizvan Kuniev. I know him too well. He's gonna take.
Sure
I know. I fully accepted when this fight got announced. I fully accepted I was getting the lone wolf here. Nothing was gonna phase me. I was gonna take Almeida, even on the short notice, even with everything. Jailton is gonna win this fight. All right, y'all can take my word for it. I won picks last year. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's gonna be the one thing I use. I won picks last year. That's why.
You know what? That's a super valid argument. I actually have zero rebuttal for that.
No, yeah, there's generally just no rebuttal for it. Like It is what it is.
And I came in
I'm
last.
kidding, obviously. Y'all
Yeah.
don't take my picks for financial. All right. You don't gotta tell me. You can fade me if you want.
Not take Tree Card's picks and then blame him when they lose. Now it already happens to me. All my friends, every time I lose, bro, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I didn't tell you to bet on him. And they're like, yes, you did. You said it on the podcast. I'm like, what?
Hey, these are all visual receipts at the end of the day. You know, if we're right, we use it to say we told you so. And if we're wrong, then we're wrong. You know?
Yeah, if we're wrong, we just don't talk about it. We just put it on until the recap. We put it on the back burner. But all right, quick thing before we go to this absolute could be banger of a fight for one guy. When I told you, what did you think the odds were for Almeida versus Kuniev? And you thought it was minus 350. Did it not like make you a little bit weary of Almeida that the line is so close?
No, I was pumped. That just means I'm getting him at a better price. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't buy into this Vegas. I don't buy into the Vegas stuff, man. I just bet who I feel, you know. That's how
I guess. I don't know. Maybe I buy into it a little too much, but I don't know. Something like that. Like, I agree with you. I think Almeida should be minus 300 at least. And the fact that he's not, like, I get the recency bias, but I don't know, but it just feels off. It feels like a trap. It feels like they want you to take Almeida.
I think if anything, the trap here would be Kuniev because Almeida's last loss was not a good fight at all. And if you're going to bet any side, you're more likely to bet Kuniev. So they want more money coming in on Rizvan.
81% of the bets are on Almeida, though.
Oh, really? Okay. 81% is smart. It's how we move. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
War room shenanigans.
It'll be an interesting fight for sure. For us at least. I don't know about for you guys, but for us,
I will be tuned in. I really want to see who wins this fight because I know we're all gonna. If Rizvan wins, I know we're all gonna get a text from Terrence and say he's gonna say.
I'm getting clowned if Rizvan wins, but you know. I die on my shield, you know. I die on my shield. I live.
You better pray that Almeida wins.
I know he's gonna win, bro. I know he's gonna win. It's all right.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Another guy who I know is gonna win is Kyoji Horiguchi in this fight.
Yeah.
I think this is as close to a layup for Kyoji as the UFC could possibly find. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm completely here for it. I think Kyoji's gonna steamroll Amir Albazi.
Agreed.
I think there is always the chance that Albazi could come back looking like the guy who fought KKF. But, I mean, after this many layoffs and health issues, I really doubt it. So, yeah, give me Kyoji Horiguchi. I think he's just levels above Albazi. It's not even close. He's faster. He is sharper. He is better everywhere. Albazi's biggest win is a robbery, and he's coming off another long layoff with neck issues. I think Horiguchi styles on him. I think he possibly finishes him. I'm going to go Kyoji by TKO. I'll say Kyoji wins by TKO. Maybe a club and sub is possible like he did to Tagir. But if I'm betting this fight, I think Horiguchi money line at minus 355 is a good parlay piece. I'm going to see what Kyoji by finish is. Kyoji by finish is, let's see, plus 240. I think it's another good straight bet.
Wow, that's good.
That's really good. So, yeah, give me Kyoji by finish in this one.
Yeah, I like that too. I was super impressed with his win over Tagir Ulanbekov. I had the lone wolf in that, actually, I'm pretty sure. I think you guys both took Tagir.
I was thinking of switching to Kyoji, man, and I just didn't do it. I should have just trusted my gut, but
yeah, I mean, it's also hard to see how a guy is going to return to the UFC, especially.
Yeah, that was my one thing. Like, Tagir is tough too, you know. It's a tough.
He is tough, and you know, especially against a grappler like that, classic Dagestani wrestling. Like, I'm not counting Tagir out after that. I think that he'll be back in a big way. I think he just kind of ran into a steamroller in Kyoji Horiguchi, he's been doing this for a long time. He's now 11-1 in the UFC, and I know he left the UFC in 2015. So strength of comp, you know, we always talk about that, how fighters are a lot better now. But his only loss in the UFC is to Demetrius Johnson. So take that how you want it. But when he went to Rizin, he went to 1. Dude was a killer. Beat Sergio Pettis, beat Kai Asakura. This guy can fight, and he has fought
Didn't he fight Manel Kopp as well?
He did fight Manel Kopp. I don't know if he won that.
I think he lost to Kopp.
Or he might have lost. Yeah, because I think that was right before Kopp came to the UFC.
Yeah.
But still, dude has a great strength of competition in and out of the UFC. But I mean, I don't think anyone really expected him to steamroll Tagir like that. He came in like a bat out of hell and just put on. And I like how you mentioned with Albazi, the injuries, layoff. I mean, that's going to be a tough ask for him to come back and fight a guy who's on a roll. Yeah, his last fight was a year and 3 months ago. And then you look at the 5 fights. I love how Topology gives you the timeline of their last 5. He has 5 fights since 2021. He has been anything but active. So for a guy like Horiguchi, who has been anything but inactive and has been putting on clinics against guys, I don't see a way that he's losing this fight, if I'm being completely honest. And I love him by finish. I'm going to say sub. I do see a club and sub happening. But I think him by finish at plus 240 is a gift. That is an absolute gift. So yeah. I'm excited. We were excited when Horiguchi got signed. I know Shrikar sent that in the group chat, and we were all like, "Yo, let's go!" That is huge. But yeah, I mean, he's back in a big way. I see a title shot in the near future, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, he's only getting older. How old is he? 36, 37?
He's 35.
35. Okay. All right. I highballed it. All right. Good. That's good. He's 35. Not on the wrong side of 30 just yet, but flyweight division, it's pretty stacked towards the top. You know, there's a few guys that are really gonna be in the mix for this title shot, and depending on when Pantoja comes back, I think that might be a conversation for a different time. You know, next week there's no event. We can do a video on that. Let us know in the comments if you want us to stack up the flyweight division and see how we think it's gonna go. But yeah, I'm excited. I really think that Horiguchi, he's coming back with a vengeance, and he already proved it in his second debut, his return to the UFC. So yeah,
a little tidbit, because we didn't actually touch on this, but the new main event for UFC Mexico is Brandon Moreno versus Lonnie Kavanaugh. Before they decided on Lonnie Kavanaugh, they reached out to Kyoji Horiguchi. Horiguchi accepted it, but he said he wanted to beat Albazi first and then turn around a few weeks later to face Moreno.
What a dog.
So, yeah, give me Kyoji by murder.
Yeah, also, shout out Lonnie Kavanaugh for stepping in against Brandon Moreno after getting knocked out by Energy.
Yeah, I don't get it, but
I don't either. They must have absolutely had no one to fight Moreno.
I mean, I don't think Johnson was medically cleared, which would make some sense. Yeah, if there was really no one else, then yeah, sure. But I mean, he just got knocked out. Like, I don't know. But that's another. Well, you mean discuss that another time? We'll probably discuss that on stream after the event. But our main event here, Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira, 5 rounds. Okay. I really don't know what the UFC is going for here with this fight. Like, I'm very confused by the matchmaking. Oliveira, if he keeps on getting matched with the right guys, I think he could become a big fan favorite. I really like where Vinicius Oliveira was headed and the trajectory he was on. Obviously, he got the Contender Series win with a knockout. Great knockout, by the way. The flying knee on Bernardo Sopage, absolutely insane. Ricky Simone, he won by decision. He beat Saeed by decision in what was an awesome fight. Beat Kyler Phillips by decision. And now he's getting Mario Bautista. I think Vinicius's game has quite a few major holes. And Mario seems like the perfect guy to kind of just blow his entire approach apart, because Mario is so good on the feet in just fighting technically and making sure he is controlling the fight at all times. Even at times against Umar, you could argue Mario was controlling the fight as long as it stayed upright. Vinicius, I just don't think that he's ready for this, especially in a 5-round fight. I think Mario is going to be a little better prepared. I think he's going to come into this with a great game plan as always. After he beat Aldo, I was one of the guys defending Mario Bautista. Like, I think he won that fight the way he needed to win that fight. He came in with the right game plan. He came in with the right mindset, and he got it done. People may not like him because he decided to go into the clinch and he decided to wrestle, but hey, that's how you beat Jose Aldo. You're not going to strike with Jose. If you want to win, that's what you got to do. And that's a game plan that's been used by Merab in the past too. So I don't blame Mario for that. And even in terms of the striking itself, Mario was outstriking Aldo. I feel like a lot of people just gloss over that. He was outstriking Aldo in that fight. So I'd go back and watch the tape. But over 5 rounds, give me Mario. I think he's going to get it done by decision. I think he will piece up Vinicius. I just don't think Oliveira is ready. As much as I like Oliveira, I just do not think he's ready for this. I'll just go with the more experienced guy in this one. I'll take a look at what the community thinks. It's 60-40. Most people going Bautista by decision. It's fair. But yeah, Mario is... Am I reading this right? Yeah, he's plus 200 by decision. So yeah, give me Bautista to win this fight.
Yeah, I really want to take Vinicius Oliveira in this, but the experience factor definitely leans towards Bautista. Oliveira has had some impressive wins, but his best win is Kyler Phillips. I mean, it's not over the top. Kyler Phillips is solid, but when you look at the guys that Bautista's been going up against, even though he lost to Umar, he did fairly well. He landed he had the biggest moment in that fight.
Dropped Umar.
Yeah, he had the biggest moment in that fight. And I don't think that's something that you can really ignore. I think Mario is a very technical fighter. Great fight IQ. It might be boring. It might not be, what you want to see in a UFC fight, but the dude really knows how to win. He knows how to win. He knows how to pick apart his opponents. And sometimes that's running them up against the cage and just working on the clinch. And, like Shrikar said, making it easy for himself to survive. But he does have hands too. He has solid striking. I think he just really needs to be weary of the power that Oliveira is going to bring, because Oliveira is the stronger striker. I think he has a little bit more of a versatile attack compared to Bautista. But if it gets into the later rounds, I think that Bautista is going to get it. I think Oliveira's window is rounds 1 through 3. And if it gets to 4 and 5, I think Bautista is really going to pull away and just make it a kind of coast to a decision, if I'm being completely honest. I really want to take Oliveira because I do see the upside in him. But like Shrikar said, it's too early. I think it's a little bit too early, and this might be a little bit tall of an ask for him to take on Bautista in a 5-rounder. I think this is good experience for him, though, to experience a 5-rounder, this early into his UFC career. I think, what is he, 4-0 in the UFC? So still trying to get some experience under his feet on this level. But we've seen Bautista fight very accomplished opponents and succeed. So it's kind of hard to side with Oliveira, even though I really want to. But I'm going to take Mario Bautista by decision. I think plus 200 is solid. I think if anyone's going to finish someone, it's going to be Oliveira. So if you want, like I said, if you want to do the finish only money line, I would pick Oliveira in that. But other than that, I see Mario winning by decision, sadly. But yeah, I think this is a good experience for both these guys. It's not the best Apex main event that we could have gotten, but I think we're just gearing up towards a good round of fight nights that are coming in the future and some high level main events. So this is what we have to deal with. I'm not terribly mad at it, but yeah, it's just kind of the experience factor for me. So give me Bautista by decision.
And that is the card, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments who you agree with, who you think we're insane for picking, where you see the weird stuff happening. Smash the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. We will see you live, hopefully Sunday night for the recap.
It'll be after the Super Bowl.
It will. Yes, it'll be after the Super Bowl, and we'll see if we can all get on the same page after the Super Bowl. But we'll target Sunday night for y'all. If not, maybe Monday. We still got some videos coming. Obviously, we talked about the arm and featherweight one. We're gonna put out a couple videos for you guys too. Obviously, next week there's no event, so we'll have some content on the way. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the War Room. Much love. Peace out, guys. We hope you have a good one. See you next time.